Hello, everybody. Welcome to Untamed and Unhinged Reptile Podcast. Today's it's a topic. It's a little touchy. I'm waiting for others to jump in. They'll be here a little later. Um, what's up, Tammy? Yeah, today's topic is about like what questions are controversial. Like what questions should not be asked. That's a good topic. But like I know there's certain topics that certain questions I should say certain topics shouldn't be asked. When it comes to certain species, I felt like that topic would have been a good topic. And of course, then again, I am waiting for everybody. Before everybody even gets in here, I just wanted to look at this, guys. There's a gift. That was pretty cool. Got it in the mail. Wasn't expecting anything from any mail today, actually. I haven't received a piece of mail in a minute. Um, but yeah, I got a gift today. Maybe made me cry a little bit. What's up? What's up, Carissa? They're always here. I'm asking you guys, like, what is a topic that is controversial, like that y'all feel like it's controversial? No, not a topic, but like a question. Like, what questions do y'all feel like are controversial? Yeah, I don't think I'm doing a podcast tomorrow either because Dre had to reschedule, and I guess he's moving his snakes out, or he's moving to another location. So they said that he's not gonna be coming on tomorrow. But I mean, I just want to say, like, without everybody here in the community, or without you guys making the community up. And I said it in my reel today, in my story, I was like, love all you guys. All you guys make up the hobby. All you guys make up the industry, whether you believe it or not. Y'all do a lot. Y'all do y'all's part. Because it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have podcasts. We wouldn't have Reptile Expos. We wouldn't have. I mean, we probably would have, but it'd be the same people. It'd be all the same people. I mean, right now it is. Like, we go to shows, we hang out, but what I'm talking about, like, it wouldn't be as big as it is now if it wasn't for all you guys. And and I mean, this gift right here, this gift says a lot. Like, coming from you guys. Yeah, I got this in the mail today. It says "Big Flex," and then it says on the back what I always say: never give up. Well, you can't read it; it's all smudged. But yeah, see, it says never give up. What's up? What's up, Elias? So what's a good question that's controversial? You think, Elias? I'm just waiting for everybody else to get in, unless they forgot. But I'm not. I'll just do like 10, 15 minutes. I mean, right? What do you feel like? What questions are controversial? I feel and like I said, it's different with every species. Controversial, yeah. That's my topic today. I wanted to be like, what questions do y'all feel like are controversial? That you wouldn't ask because you may start some stuff. You know what I mean? I said, okay, I got one. Give me a second to type it. Okay, okay. Let's see what she got. It's gonna be fun. Just typing. And I don't know if you missed it, Elias. I was just shouting out everybody, for doing their part in this industry hobby. I mean, you being you, doing your podcast, doing your thing. I love all you guys. I love Maki. I love Candy. I love, Bear for needing them. I mean, I love all of them guys. I love Rock. Uh, that whole podcast y'all got going on is funny. I'd be watching that. But yeah, I was just shouting you guys out. Says, why are the standards for keeping large breeds like retic, sperm, etc. different than the standard for smaller breeds? Good question. Good question. Why are large breeds like retic, sperms, etc. different than? I felt like smaller breeds are easier to keep, and larger breeds are so larger breed like retics and sperm take a lot of work though, and I can get why that could be controversial. I see that. That's a good question. That is a very controversial question. That was good. What's up, Bosa? Today's topic is uh, we're just trying to see what questions not to ask on an podcast, Bosa. Uh, and Carissa asked this awesome question here. Came up with this question here. Simply talking reacts versus bioactive is controversial just off the rip. Oh yeah, I don't know why though. I mean, I know people that keep ball pythons on bioactive and then retics on bioactive. I mean, I figured bioactive is kind of being like outside where they're from. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people see a problem with that. A lot of people do, and others don't. I mean, so yeah, that is a controversial question. That's a good one. What does that say? I don't know. I feel like anything that deals with said person's flaws, for example, interviewing Justin from Canova and asking him about trying to rename an existing gene. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I think I asked somebody about that too. Who was that? Um, and I forgot what gene it was. What was he trying to rename? I get that, but they deserve the best too. Absolutely, no judgment. Just curious. I get you, Carissa. I get you. And it's the first time I actually get to talk to you guys, my audience, um, ask y'all questions, what y'all think, and it's because everyone. What's up, Lolo? It's because everyone want everything their way or no way. No doubt that. That's yeah. Renaming the extremist to Mace. I don't know what that is. You got me, guys. This is why I got out of ball pythons. I don't too many more. Too many. I'm just like yikes. They got Venom now. They got what else they got? They got a lot of stuff coming out, and I'm just like, what the heck? What's up? Is it Tim? Yeah. So the topic in here today, Tim, is what questions are controversial that you wouldn't ask or bring up in a podcast. And Carissa started off with a good one, and then Elias gave us some good ones. So I'm gonna go back to Carissa's question, and this is what it is. And then there's Elias. Something flew in my eye just now, and it sucks when you have like nobody to debate these back and forth. Hey Tim, if you're interested right now, I'll send you a link and we can talk about these questions. What you think? It depends if they are open book or not. True. Bosa knows I'm an open book. I agree with you on that, Bosa. 500 ball python gene names, and half of them are the exact same gene. Yeah. So that. Yeah. So okay, Elias, what makes Starburst? What makes Starburst? And then there's Venom. Venom is they said it was a darker morph. It was I got her up there. Got Mojave. There you go. That's what it is. Darker Mojave with black head. It makes Venom or something like that. That's what people were saying. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. That's why I'm asking. So many more Starburst. I like Starburst though. Don't get me wrong. I like Starburst. And if y'all haven't seen Starburst, Carnage, Nanny doesn't mess with my Bosa. Dude, I love you, Bosa, man. That's funny. But yeah, I'm probably gonna like stay on for like another 20 minutes. If then nobody pops on, it was good. It was a good topic to have a conversation about like what stirs the pot on podcasts. Like better yet, why do they stir the pot on podcasts? Why can't they just be positive? You know, why can't they just be open? Enchi, Leopard, Lambda, Albino. I knew it was Enchi. Somebody said it wasn't. I was asking somebody and they said that's not Enchi. But I was like, the only thing that makes anything bright like that is Enchi. I didn't know the leopard or the lavender albino part, but yeah, that morph right there is gorgeous. I'll give that one. I like Starburst. But I will say this though, guys. Like for those watching, like I've been through a lot. I've been different, like rebranding my name, rebranding the podcast, starting overs. I wanted to give up, but never give up. And y'all guys wouldn't allow me to give up. All of you, like whoever reached out, Bosa was one of them for sure. Y'all were like like y'all just kept saying I wasn't leaving, I wasn't going anywhere. And then I get this GIF in here, and on the back of it says "Never give up," and that's why I haven't stopped doing the podcast. That's why I haven't left the industry. It's why like I have all my animals still. Because at one point I really wanted to give it all up. I did, and thanks to you all, y'all being awesome and being who y'all are. Like I love you guys and I appreciate you guys, and I don't know, I can't say thank you enough for everything. You know, everything y'all do. I'm trying not to, trying not to, lies, but yeah, I had some people, but I guess I got stuck at work. I had Jessica; she was supposed to come on. Christian. Oh, I do have some announcements to make though. This 30th, April 30th, I think, I am gonna have ladies' night. Oh yeah, Maki definitely, Maki definitely would. I saw her comment on that post I made, and yeah, she definitely would beat my butt if if I left. And but yeah, y'all, I just want to say all of you guys are amazing. Thank you, love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Like I felt like the only way to be real and transparent with you guys is just always being me and keep doing what I'm doing. That's spreading positivity and lifting others up. I'm gonna keep doing that, and singing we ain't going we ain't going nowhere. Dang, Bosa. Well, so back to my uh my announcement. Ladies' night is gonna be April 30th. The host of that is gonna be Jennifer from Hot Exotics. She's gonna be hosting that, and we're gonna start it with 4 guests and see how that turns out. And if there's room for more, we're gonna have more. But I think it's 4 or 5 guests right now that we got. She already got her ladies for the night. So that's going to be amazing. That's going to be awesome. And I can't wait for that. And I'm excited for the ladies' night to come back because, like I said, I started that uh, when I first started this podcast, and then I eventually got away from it, and now I'm trying to come back to ladies' night. I want the ladies to get out there. Um, like in the podcast last night, I feel like ladies could, you know, yeah, dude. I can't. I know. I'm excited, especially for the ladies that are gonna come on the 30th. Oh man, I can't wait to make the flyer. I can't like you don't even know how stoked I am for ladies' night. Like I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good show. Um, and for those of you that didn't know, I used to bring ladies from different like gecko breeder and a tarantula breeder or whatever it may be, whatever they were working with. It was just so people can meet people and not just stay in that. I was trying to spread it out, but like I said, I ended up getting away from that. Now I'm coming back to it. Um, I'm feeling a little better now with my confidence and pushing the positivity when it comes to doing the uh, when it comes to doing ladies' nights and stuff like that, other podcasts. So I'm excited for it. It's gonna be good. I hope you guys show up for that because we're gonna have some big girls, like big heavy hitters, and I respect the women. I do, especially Jennifer. She works with Retics and Green Trees. Her husband does, but they're there, and she's gonna bring on. I think she's trying to bring on Seven-Headed Serpents. If y'all don't know who Cynthia is, she's Seven-Headed Serpent. She works with uh, corn snakes, colubrids, uh, and she just recently got two Retics. Bearded breeders. Let's do it, Bosa. That just be me and you and Joe, because Joe's bald and he's a breeder. He's a retic breeder. Me, you, Joe. Who else? Uh, I am bald. I just clean shaved. Look. See? Oh, Bosa. Yeah, I got people asking me right now. Oh, Keys and Wiz. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot they're bald beard. Wait, Keys has a beard? Man, I haven't seen Keys in a minute. Every time he goes live, I'm at work, and he goes Friday nights, and I'm at the clubs Friday nights. Oh hell, I had to refresh the screen. Was wondering why it hadn't started yet. Yeah, I just been here. I was saying, Tim, if you wanted to jump on, we can talk. I'll send you a link right now if you're interested. Right now, I think More Forge may jump on. I'm not sure. I'm waiting for them to respond. I was gonna go like 20 minutes, but it's already gonna be there. But I was just doing some announcements. I was trying to. Yeah. All right. I'll send it to you. Hold on, Tim. Um, Let me see if I could do it real quick. Man, I wish somebody else was in here so I could do this. Let me see. Uh, I'm just gonna have to drop it in the comments. It sucks. Hold on. I was trying to add you, but I don't have you on Facebook yet. So I mean Facebook, Instagram. That's what I meant. Instagram. Sorry, but oh my goodness. Can you add me on? Message me on Instagram real quick, Tim. If you can find me. Trying to add this on my laptop so I can do it from my laptop, but let me see. I got it. Like this. Under Flexing and Finesse and Reptiles or Untamed and Unhinged Reptile Podcast. It's underscore, so it'll be Flexing underscore N, the letter N, underscore Finesse and Reptiles. There you go. Let me see that. Send that real quick. Bosa dropped the link. There you go, Bosa. There we go. We got it. We got it. I actually got it open up too on my laptop, so you should be coming in right now. Here we go. Coming in hot. Damn you fast. It's it's the Jack Daniels. Man, you know it'd be cool to have Bosa in. That'd be dope.
Hey.
What's going on?
Not much, man. Let me finish getting all situated here. Almost. There we go.
So how have you been, man?
Dude, I've been busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, and that is no joke.
Man, I was just like, what are some topics that you wouldn't ask in a podcast that are controversial? You know what I mean? Like questions, topics.
Right. Man, I don't know. I touch just about everything in one way, shape, or form. You can always tell when I hit something that's a little bit touchy with some folks because I'll watch my sub count kind of drop down a little bit. They're like, what a jerk.
I mean, yeah, they'll be like, "Ooh, that's a touchy subject," and then the views drop. They'll back out of it.
Oh yeah, like, yeah. It's
I was Go ahead.
No, it was. I think the only really touchy stuff anymore is kind of like enclosure sizes for retics and what you need in there for them. That seems to be one that there's a lot of different opinions about, and some people feel pretty strongly about them. So I'm still sitting.
So look, how would you answer this question that Chris answered? Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. It says, why are the standards for keeping large breeds like retic, berms, etc., different than the standards for smaller breeds?
I don't know that it really is. Yeah, I mean, you'll see a lot of bigger snakes on paper, simply because the amount of mess that they make. You know, if you use any kind of substrate on a big snake, you're going to be shoveling that stuff out of there on a regular basis. So there's that. There's also, big snakes are a lot more prone to pushing and things like that and getting the substrate like in their mouth and then pushing into the enclosures and whatnot. It's just so much easier to keep them on paper. And if you don't have a really big collection and you watch them all the time, then they're not, you come home from work, you see that they made a mess, change paper out real quick. It cleans up real easy. I think a lot of people are changing to different substrates. Like, I seen Wes not too long ago had changed over from paper to a cocoa chip thing or something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's like Repta soil or something.
Yeah. Which is cool because he's got, a lot of snakes over there. And I think it manages the waste a little bit better. But
see, I want to, but like every time I switch my stuff to like cocoa husk or Repta soil, I get gnats. I hate the gnats.
Yeah. Yeah, those I even fight those. I keep my smaller snakes on substrates. Uh, it's it's not bad for them. It gives it a little bit more of a bio look to it and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, kind of like this girl over here, Chloe. I've got her in that enclosure. She's a little retic, and that's got soil with moss on top of it and some stuff for her to climb around on and stuff. Uh,
I don't know, but I like your setup. I like your gamer chair back there too. It's dope.
yeah, I'm a big nerd, dude.
I actually was on not too long ago before I got on the podcast. I was actually gonna purchase a gamer chair. It was like trying to pick a color right now, green, blue,
Right?
but I think I might go with green.
Yeah, I ended up getting one of each. The only
Yeah, it
thing,
looks like yours. Yeah.
yeah, just kind of be careful of these, man, because the snakes like to get in them damn holes.
Well, I mean, so like I keep my retics on paper,
Yeah,
and they shed fine. They've been shedding fine.
yeah,
They either shed around the bowl or, and the only thing I hate that they do though is keep pooping in that damn bowl, man.
yeah, yeah. That's what mine do too. Which
Like
works
God,
out really good, man. I'll go down and check their water bowls, and I mean their water bowls are big enough for them to all get into.
yeah.
Even like 16 footers, they can sit in there and soak. Makes cleaning the enclosure real easy.
So you do another podcast too?
Yeah, we do. I started doing every Saturday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, uh,
Hmm.
just because I wasn't always able to get out content. I want to get out like one video a week is what I shoot for. And here lately, it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes I can get one out. Sometimes I get a couple days off and I can shoot 2 or 3 videos out. But I just wanted to stay in contact with our community, Um,
Same.
and that Saturday night live stream just worked out really well. So,
See, I started doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays only because uh they're like the beginning of the week
right.
before all the other big shows. Because I know like there's Keys on Friday. Like now you on Saturday, which I gotta watch now. Because I try to catch everything, everybody's podcast. I try to jump like at least say hi, and then we got Holly Tuesday. So right after, I think I go live at 5, and then we got Holly, and then Holly, and then what's that other one? It's with Elias Dondi.
Oh,
That
there's it's right on the tip of my tongue. I think I know what you're talking about, and I can't think of it right off the top of my head.
yeah, I can't remember the name. God dang it! And I made the backdrop for them too. but yeah, so right after that, what's up? Changing water and then cleaning rat and it says, "What's up, Danny?"
Hey,
I don't know. I've
yeah,
been trying to get him on a podcast, but he's always busy too.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
BTS. There you go. Beyond the Scales. That's what it is.
cool.
So they go right after. So like it's Holly, then me, Holly, and I think BTS, or they come on about the same time. But then at night too, you got uh, the Chondros, the
Yeah,
the late night Chondro podcast. It starts at 9.
yeah, and
Um,
there's a couple more good ones too. Jin and Mike Stefani started doing one every Saturday on the Trap Talk Network.
on the Trap Talk
Hmm.
with MJ.
Well, no, they're doing. MJ started like a network on there where he's got other people that'll run the podcasts,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. I saw that. Okay,
yeah,
I know what
and
you're talking about. Yeah.
Jen and Mike both um, get together. I think it's like noon Eastern on Saturday, and they just talk monitor lizard stuff. And of course, Mike's really entertaining to listen to anyway.
Oh, herb collectors, right?
No, Mike Stefani. Mike's
Oh,
monitor.
Mike Stefan. Sorry. Yeah. I was like Mike from Herb Collectors too. He does.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
he's a pretty good dude.
I don't know if he's Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember, but yeah, he has a good show too.
Yeah,
And then we got Alvaro the Hognose. He does one about the scales,
right.
or is it not about scales? It's scales of success or something.
Yeah, I mean, we could make a whole. You could make a whole career on a watching podcast. I think everybody has one, which is cool, man. It's really cool to see you get all the different people that specialize in different species and stuff. Like Nicole Tisdale, she does hers Monday mornings at 8 o'clock.
Nicole, yep. For
Oh,
yep,
yeah,
Nicole has hers, and Bosa wants to start one.
cool,
Bosa wants to start a coffee and whiskey one.
nice.
Right now, right now he said, what do you say right now? We can do a podcast with just bald men and beards.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I don't know. So what got you into podcasting? What made you do it?
Man, I was just getting so much. See, it was kind of crazy because like, I'm just over 2 years on since I made the channel Intrepid, and just kind of started it to throw some of my experience out with big snakes and monitors and things, and it's just kind of snowballed and get so many people that have been contacting me, and so many people sending me messages saying that, I've got such a better relationship with my animal now. They're easy to work with. And the community has just kind of been growing. So, and here 2 weeks ago, I started for our Patreon members a Zoom call after our live streams. So it's just a way to get in. And, typically my live streams are just me. Every now and then I'll have somebody else on. But I just sit there and I, converse with the regular folks that come in, and we answer questions and talk back and forth and stuff. And then we have the Patreon Zoom call right after that, where everybody can just get in there and show snakes off and, show handling problems that they're having, stuff like that. So it's all just to kind of support keepers and keep the community tight,
I like that. I like what you're doing, then.
Yeah.
I have not caught one of your podcasts. I'm sorry,
Oh no,
because I didn't even know like you had a podcast. But I saw you in the live yesterday, and you were like, "I like what you're doing. I appreciate your comment." And
oh yeah,
I'm just trying to spread positivity and
yeah, it's
show everybody off.
It's really important, really important.
And like I was, oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I try to stay positive on most things. I'm kind of known for hitting kind of touchy subjects. I started out, I think, being a little bit more diplomatic than I've grown to be. I think as I get older, I'm getting a lot more. Yeah, both of us.
Chiller. So I was like, I was just telling them that I'm about to do a ladies' night. I'm going to bring back ladies' night because when I started podcasting, I actually started podcasting on Instagram. I was doing Instagram lives,
right?
And I would do a flyer up, and I would go I think it was like Thursday or Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then then eventually I got a co-host, and they were all talking to me like, "Why don't you just go to YouTube?" And I was supposed to go on Keys Live a Thursday, but I had arena trials, so I had to try out for arena football because I was playing arena football.
Awesome.
And I had to cancel, and I said, I'm like, "Oh man, dude, I have arena practice tryouts. I gotta go. Like, I can't do the podcast."
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's cool."
Yeah, I heard you say the other day you used to be a prison guard.
Yes, I used to do detention, Bear County Detention Center.
Yeah.
And then you hit patrol, and then I was a third officer, and then I went to SWAT.
Nice.
Yeah. So
how long did you do that?
I did that for 6 years.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, 6 years. Like I said, I've seen some stuff that I cannot say because it's gruesome. It's gruesome. Like, nobody wants to just sit here and talk about that stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Sure, people like to hear stories, but I mean,
right. Yeah, I was a maximum security state officer for Indiana. Worked at
oh,
Indiana.
you were in the facility, like the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have ours here too in Texas. Dominguez prison.
Right.
Yeah, and that one's really bad too. My buddy said that they stabbed him right through his hand. Like, he was trying to close the cell door, and The guy just
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean, you talk about stories. We had the only psychiatric units in the state too, and then we had Supermax on the grounds as well. Yeah, our security levels out in Indiana were 1 through 5, 5 being Supermax. So I worked in the level 4 facility, and man, it was a friggin' punch palace out there. Plus, like I said, the only psych unit in the state. So it was a trip. It was an interesting thing for a 19-year-old kid to walk into.
for
Um,
real. That makes you
yeah,
grow up fast.
yeah, I was 19 when I started there. I had just gotten out of basic training, and I did like 3 years in the guard and then 7 years active. But while I was doing my guard time, I was working at the prison, and then finally decided to leave that crap behind and go active duty, where it was more peaceful.
Yeah, I see. I got shot. I got shot through the leg right here. Chunk of meat missing.
No, nice.
Yeah, but like it's like right underneath my calf muscle, kind of.
Right.
But I mean, like after that, I mean, all the stuff you see is like it's not worth it. Like
Yeah.
really isn't.
I don't know, man. It just gives you a different perspective, and I think it's an important perspective. Um, Here a few years ago, I went to work in crime and accident scenes for the medical examiner's office,
Hmm.
which was interesting, to say the least. It was. I mean, you kind of put together the time at the prison and then a couple of wars, and you see some shit all up in there, and then working these scenes with the medical examiner's office out here, it was something else. Like I said, I can tell some stories, make most of the guys out on the construction sites out here cringe.
I bet everybody right now that we have in there is like, this is interesting. Go on. But I
Yeah,
mean,
it's some of the stuff. I
it,
mean, I'm sure you've seen a lot of it on the street. Yeah,
not
but
only that, like even like taking people from car accidents, like really bad ones, if you know
right.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've gotten calls at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to go out and work a pedestrian versus tractor trailer on the interstate. Um, those don't end well. Yeah, you can
yeah.
imagine. I mean, you're walking 150 meters with a stretcher. Yeah, if that tells you anything. Um, so yeah,
Or they're walking back from a mile down with something,
yeah,
You're like,
yeah. I try not to get too graphic on that stuff because some people
yeah. So
for it.
I'm just like, that's, I don't know. I know it's not snake talk, but yeah, that's what I used to do. I mean,
Right,
a lot of people are like, man, that's interesting. How come you don't ever talk about that? So like, I don't know. Being a cop, it's just being a cop.
right. Well, my
I mean,
daughter's a cop now.
what it does, it makes you more aware of your surroundings. So like, I don't know if you still do it right now. Like, I always look over my shoulder. I don't know. Like when I'm out, I'm all constantly looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, really. That's been my whole life. I mean, because I was born in Gary, Indiana, and grew up around that area, up around East Chicago and all that stuff. Um, and then I went right from high school and moved into a martial arts school and lived there for 2 years and trained. And that was what I used as my full-time work experience to get into the prison. So I went like straight from the martial arts school to basic training to prison and did that whole stretch. Then I went down to Texas, chilled out for a little while, and then went active duty from there. So, and then a Bosnia rotation, Iraq rotation, and all that crap. So it's been interesting.
Damn. I mean, yeah. I'm like, that's interesting as hell.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, you do. You just get a sense, especially, like working in a prison and stuff like that. Your head's going, you got to have eyes in the back of your head. Because it's all close quarters, everything's always right on top of you. You never know when something's going to happen. You just got to get so good at reading people and situations. It's one of the things I always used to tell people, man, when we do, because I taught hand-to-hand in the Army and stuff like that for a little while too. But I mean, that's the thing that I always tell everybody is like, you can avoid it if you're just on top of
everything, yeah.
the surroundings, You got to pay attention to the people that you might need to stay away from. And it's a fine line there. It's kind of like handling retics, you know.
Hmm.
We talk about that line between confidence and caution, that you've got to have when you're working with a big snake. It's the same thing when you're out there on the streets. Is you've got to be confident, and you've got to be trained, and you got to know what you're doing, but you still got to be cautious and pay attention and not let it make you scared and paranoid and hair triggered and all that other stuff. So it's a, you know how it is, man. It's
Man, I'm gonna tell you what though. Like when I used to, so I bounce right now.
right.
Not I used to. I bounce right now. I'm a bouncer at nightclubs, and
Mhm.
I get calls all the time. Like, can you come bounce for me? Can you bounce here
Right.
tonight? So I recently just got fired from where I was at. Yeah, like I was there. Like they took up my whole week. Like I was there all week, every day, and I was their marketing manager, the manager, you name it. I recently just got let go. Right
Right.
after I got let go, another guy called me from my. He was the old manager at another club that was really really bad.
Right.
But he was like, "Dude, I want you here because you know how to read the people.
Mhm.
Uh, you know how to go up to them, stop it before it happens, before it escalates. You know how to de-escalate." I
Yeah.
said, "But yeah, that comes with learning that in jail, like talking people down from talking to somebody that's not even there, and then getting them out into the hallway and talking to them. It's
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just the way you talk to people, really."
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a, like I said, it's a lot like working with reptiles. I think that might be why I fell into it so easily. That's why reptiles are kind of second nature to me. So,
I could see that though. Now that you say that, now I think that's why I think I fell
yeah.
with the reptiles too. Because
Mm. I
I mean, I
find
don't like getting bite, but I mean, I could see it.
right.
I Sometimes I see it. My retic actually just bit me for the first time the other day. I was like, "Damn,
Oh,
what did
sweet.
I do?"
Yeah, I just picked up a new one from Jeremy Turgeon here the other day, and he was
Jeremy from Brassman.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Went over and picked him up last Monday, and he's supposed to be really snippy, but he's done pretty good. Yeah, dude, I could not be a teacher at all. There's
right. I
no
don't know how y'all do it. Teachers, they got it hard, man. Now they do. Back then it was like we listened to our teacher. Now
right,
they don't even want to listen to the teacher. Now they're trying to get up and slap teachers now.
right. I couldn't be a teacher. I nothing but respect for the patience it's got to take to do that.
Yeah.
I would be fired and or in prison. It would be straight boot in ass the first time somebody stepped up, and then their parents came down. It'd be booting their ass too. Next thing you know, where's Mr. Jackowitz at? Oh, he got arrested. We won't be seeing him for a few years.
I'm,
we,
I'm honestly with you on that. Honestly with you. Because, yeah. He said, man, I've been bitten by more kids than snakes. Yeah, I don't know, man. I respect to the teachers nowadays because, man, back then it was so much easier.
yeah,
I feel like just time difference and everything, just, I don't
yeah,
know what happened. It changed.
mhm. Yeah. Lots different than it was when I was a kid, man. I mean, I'm like I said, I raised my daughter, and like I said, she's a police officer now herself. Um, Spent 3 years in the military as well, and all that cool shit. But that's what I tell people, man. Child abuse works, makes good kids.
I was like, what? Hey, but I will say this, like my son, his mom, like she'll let me see him and then take him away from me and then let me see him.
Right,
So right now I haven't seen him, but he talks to me through Instagram message and everything.
right.
And he's telling me that he's gonna go to the Navy. So I was like, proud of you. I did something right. I installed something in you.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's you worry about them, especially like when my daughter was a teenager. She was so much like me. She was independent. She wanted to conquer the world, and she wasn't done with high school yet. So she just had this one little phase right there where she's ready to spread her wings, and she can't. So she turned into a little asshole for a while. Um, but I mean, she had a couple tough years there, and then just as soon as she was able to get out on her own, man, and started making her own decisions, she just ran with it. I was really proud of her. So
Yeah, that's
military
awesome.
military is a great place from the start. Yeah.
I want to say thank you for your service because I was a military, but I mean, law enforcement, like every time somebody comes up to me and they approach me, they're like, "Were you military?" And I'm like, "No, I was just law enforcement." But it's the same thing in discipline. They used to be like SWAT. They used to be like, you stand up when, formation, all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like military through the academy. For me, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. The organization and stuff is a lot similar, but I always tell people that I fought harder as a civilian and I worked harder as a soldier. You're not going to work any harder than you do in some of the places in the military, man. Um, I went through Special Forces selection twice and was out here at Bragg for 2 years and a couple of wars, and you work your ass off. But when you fight, you got the strength of the strongest military in the world behind you, all the cool toys and a bunch of trained people. So you're not fighting as hard as you are as a cop. You pull somebody over, you get a couple of people jumping in and try and take your gun, or if you might be the only bouncer out there that night, you get two people that kind of know what they're doing that aren't quite as drunk as they should be yet, or in some of the situations I've been in where I've had 2 or 3 guys out in the middle of nowhere, and that's when you fight. When you got no help and you're just out there by yourself, So
Hold on, Tim.
Yeah.
Hold
Oh, you're good. So yeah. Anyway, that was. We're all just hijacking the snake talk here with cop and military stuff, but I mean it's cool. I think it's cool to. Oh, you're fine. I think it's cool for folks to kind of say what their background is and where they're coming from. I think with a lot of people, especially with me, because I can be pretty direct sometimes, I think it kind of helps people to understand kind of where I'm coming from when I'm explaining stuff. So
I agree. Like we got to talk to them before we brought them on a podcast because sometimes I see that like for instance, I brought a guy on. He thought I was gonna come at him sideways because he thought, I don't know, he was doing something wrong, or he thought I was gonna call him out on something. I don't know what it was, but after the podcast we talked, and he's like, "Dude, I like what you're doing."
yeah,
I was like, "Bro, I'm not about coming like that, coming at anybody sideways or anything like that."
yeah,
I was just trying to get to know you for you and who you are.
right. Yeah,
So
and you never know what all you got in common with people besides reptiles, So
yeah, but sometimes
they talk.
I'm like, sometimes it's hard to even start a conversation. Like, you watch anime? Yeah, that's what I do.
Right.
It's interesting stuff. I have 3 Marine nephews and 1 Air Force. Damn,
Okay, cool.
that's awesome. But yeah, man, I actually do want to bring you on the podcast, or we can, I don't know, do something where we just go back and forth asking questions or something.
Oh yeah, I always play it by ear, man. When like my Saturday nights, there'll be nights when I'm getting on here, man, and I am just completely freaking smoked. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to do nothing. I'm like, okay, this podcast is going to be, or this live stream is going to be 30 minutes, and then I'm toast. 2.5 hours later, we're still in the chat going over stuff, man, because I pull so much energy from the people that we're engaged with, and it's just, you get certain people coming in there with questions, and by the time it gets going, I don't script it or anything. I just run with it because
I feel like that's the best way, though.
Yeah.
And I know people that script their podcast, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like going in there unscripted, learning the person, getting to know them is way better because it shows
Right.
them for who they are.
Right. Yeah, and it's good to keep the engagement up with the folks that are watching, because people getting into comments are dropping them comments down there because they want their opinion to be heard or their thoughts or whatever. So, I keep them engaged and I keep them involved in it and stuff, and I try and react all the questions and catch every one of the chats as they go through.
It's hard.
It
It's
is.
hard. It's hard when they start going. Like I'm not like when the chat starts going and starts blowing up. Like I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of time on my live streams where I'm sitting there telling everybody, saying, okay, well, I'm looking for the stuff that's not a conversation between you guys and a real question. I don't want to miss anything. Scrolling through there and all that stuff. But once I get somebody on there and a conversation starts, I'll catch super chats.
Nice. Oh, so you're already up there. You got like what 1,000 subscribers or
9,210,
damn.
I think.
I'll be there one day. I'll be there one day.
Yeah.
I'll get
Well,
there.
I've been trying to crawl up to 10,000 here for a while. My activities just dropped way down. So,
Like on that YouTube little app thing.
well, I mean, my posting has slowed down a little bit. So when you start slowing down and the consistency falls off, um, it takes a while for the algorithm to pick it back up and really start getting it back out there. Plus, I haven't hit any really hot topics here lately.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because everything's already being talked about. Like people are starting to be more open.
Yeah.
I've noticed, and either that or people are calling out people live and fighting and arguing.
Yeah, I'm like you in that respect, man. I don't call anybody out unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, if it's
It's like,
necessary. Yeah.
like the Samson thing. You need to be called out.
Yeah. See that? Yes. We did talk about that on the podcast on my old podcast. 'Cause my old podcast was called Sex and Flexing, and
Yeah,
that one took off quick.
mhm.
I gained a lot of traction on that, and like I said, when I started, I was having a women's night, and that straight away. Now I'm bringing back women's night. Jennifer from Mods Exotic is gonna host the one coming up on the
Right.
30th, so that's gonna be good. I'm excited for that. She already has 4 women that are gonna come on the podcast, so that's gonna be exciting. And I'm trying to bring that back
Nice.
because honestly, I do feel like the women could, like she said last night, or like Joe said too, like they could take over the industry of retics or the retic game.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
like I said,
could.
and one of the best handlers I know is Kagan. Kagan Andrew, Reptiles and Roses. She kind of been kind of obscure. She hasn't done a whole lot of stuff publicly. But her and I have handled some crazy friggin' giant snakes before. Some bites, some nasty bites and stuff. She is just an absolute stud handler. And she's got bigger cojones than most dudes I know.
I was like, I don't know if I follow her or I've seen her page. Can you send it to me after this,
Yeah, I can do that.
or if you can send it to me now, or it's up to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bosa, you're right. Let's have some stuff with straight animal abuse. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how people like. You don't smell a snake dead. That shit stinks. And just leave it there to evaporate into thin dust. Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, it was freaking crazy. I did a 2-hour about a year ago, maybe 8 months or so. Did a 2-hour live stream with Kagan. I mean, her and I talked for 2 hours on the phone, and then went on live for 2 hours after that, going into a lot of detail about that thing. So it was just one of those things. But anyway, the whole point to even mentioning that was the fact that I don't call people out by name.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody does things that needs improvement. Everybody may make mistakes. Everybody deserves that chance to acknowledge what's going on and make it better. So that's like a couple of the. I'll do something that's gotten really popular here lately is if people have problems handling their retic, if it's getting defensive, if they're afraid to bit all the time. I'll do video chats with them where somebody will hold the camera for them and they'll open the enclosure and I'll be able to see in real time what the snake's doing, read their behavior, give them suggestions on what to do, kind of point out stuff that they might be doing wrong. It's been really helpful for some people. But like one of the guys that I've done it with had really bad enclosure. He just sent me a video and I kind of critiqued the video for him. And I had a bad enclosure, had a really bad snake hook that I think hurt the snake in the video. Really kind of. But the thing was, is all of the stuff that was wrong with that, and he gave me permission to put everything out. I never put anything out with anybody unless they give me permission to do it. Because, like I said, I'm not going to throw anybody out there on Front Street just to get eaten alive by the piranhas out there. But he said, yeah, man, he's like, if it helps people, it helps people. Cool. I just want to be a better keeper. And that's all you got to say, man. And I'm not going to blow you any shit at all. If you come up and say, hey, man, I need help, Roger, we'll help you, and using stuff like that as a learning tool for the rest of the community. I'm like right on top of all the stuff on there too. If somebody starts slicing them apart, say, hey, man, we talked about that. There's no sense in kicking a dead horse or beating this guy up. He's looking for help and he wants to do better. So, and that's just.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like, I want to do that. I want to get on that level. And that's why when I told Joe, like, hey, Joe, when I call you, you got to get me there. Yeah. But do you work with retics too, Tim?
Yeah. That's kind of my specialty is working with large constrictors and monitor lizards.
So you have like burns, retics?
Yeah. I've
got the big guys.
Yeah.
See, that's where I want to go to. I want one Malin that can get 15, 16 feet, because even though people say like you should work with them before you handle them, and I've worked with a 15-foot retic, and they're heavy, but it's fun.
Oh yeah, man, they're awesome. I got two 16-footers here. My female, she's going to be pushing 18 to 20 feet by the time it's all said and done. Maybe not 20. I'm fairly certain she's going to hit 18. But I'm not going to J feed her or nothing like that. But she's a healthy girl. She's a mainland motley. And but I mean, I've been in situations where I've worked with hundreds of retics, all the way from wild caught to further generations. The biggest one I'd worked with was 22 feet and over 200 pounds. So that was thousands and thousands of interactions with hundreds of these snakes. So that's kind of what motivated me to make the channel. Is that, man, I got all this experience working with these animals, and I got a whole community of people out there that are buying retics that they don't, that they lose their comfort level with when they get big. So why not help them? So, that's kind of how it started. And I just kind of branched out and, tried to mix up the content and stuff from there. And I've got a 6-foot Nile monitor that I've worked with that I made some videos with.
Oh, you got a 6-foot Nile monitor?
Yeah.
And how's that going? Because I have a buddy here that has 2 of them. And they're puppy dog trained.
Yeah, he's doing really good. We've had ups and downs with him, but he's doing really good. As a matter of fact, that was the last video I made, was him taking him outside. So
yeah, that's awesome. Like, I want to get into monitors, but I know I'm not there yet because I need, first of all, more space for them.
Yeah,
because they require bigger enclosures. And if I do, I'm probably gonna end up building one later.
Yeah, he's had different iterations. I started him when he was a hatchling and a little 6-footer, and then as he got a little bit bigger, I built a bathtub onto that little 6-footer so that he had that plus platforms and then the bathtub to swim around in. And then as he got bigger still, I moved that bathtub over into the corner and framed a big 8x8x6 around him. So now he's got all of this space in there to swim and bask and jump up and run around. But Aubrey Pruitt actually sent me back with an Asian water monitor about 4 feet long, 3-4 feet long, not too long ago. And I wanted to do some handling stuff with him, some socialization stuff. But I sat there looking at it, I was like, shit, I just don't have space to build another monitor enclosure for him. And I can't leave him sitting here like this for very long, so yeah, I ended up sending him back. But hopefully we're hoping to move this summer and get more space. So if that happens,
you're going to open up a facility?
Yeah, I want to have it set up so that um, wherever we end up moving to and getting reestablished, I want to have like my living area off, cordoned off in one little area. I want to have the whole rest of it reptiles with a bunch of parking area and stuff, so that we can just invite people out. Um, and do handling sessions, help people do familiarization with the big snakes, and the monitors. I want to be able to. We're going to be doing on the channel probably a whole bunch of DIY stuff, because whenever we find a place and start moving in, we're gonna be doing a lot of enclosure upgrades, getting bigger enclosures for the retics, um, adding on some stuff for the monitor lizards so that I can get a couple of them. So it'll be a lot of fun. Um, and we do public education stuff here too, like from museums and parks and summer camps and things like that. So,
See, that's awesome. I want to do that, but I feel like I need a couple of more years under my belt
yeah,
before I start doing something like that.
yeah, you got to be really comfortable,
Yeah.
really super comfortable, because you're dealing with the public. So
And see, I get nervous even coming on a podcast, so I'm not comfortable yet. Because like when I come on a podcast and I have like Joe, I didn't know Joe was like a big name until he came on the podcast, and it
right,
was crazy because I brought Retic Mafia on the podcast, and they introduced me to Joe.
yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I would have never met Joe. So,
Yeah. Yeah, Joe's a good dude. I met him out at Retake Fest last year.
so I mean, Joe's awesome. He's
Yeah,
awesome. I called him. We like before we even did a podcast, and we talked for an hour.
right.
And not only that, like Earl. I don't know if you know Earl from Lone Star Reptiles.
I think I've seen him.
Uh, we talk like every other week. I want to say he'll call me, and we'll talk for like 2 hours.
Nice.
And he's always telling me about everything about what's going on there, and that he uses his snakes in movies, or they use his snakes in movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's cool. But I want to, yeah, I'm trying to get up there to where they are like my snakes. I want to be my snakes in a movie. That'd be dope.
Right? Yeah, it would. Yeah,
But
the closest we've got out here is there's a guy out here local to me who does a haunted house. It's a really big deal out here. But this tool goes out, takes his berm out in North Carolina in October, runs around with him when it's 40, 50 degrees outside. He's had like 2 or 3 of them die. Yeah. So there's not a
so he
whole.
just takes them out to. Sounds like he's just taking them out to kill them, or
No, I mean, he's taking them out to look like a badass with a big snake at a haunted house, And
it's
yeah,
done though.
yeah, you'll see people running around with jackets on and stuff like that. And this tool's running around with this berm around his neck. It's like, you just want to go up and knock him out and take the snake away from him. So,
Yeah, I'm like that's dumb though. But I mean,
right.
to each their own. To each their own. I mean, had he been part of the community, we probably got called out a long time ago.
Right.
Uh, but like what you're doing with, I guess the retake keepers coming in and teaching them and stuff, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really important because you look at how many snakes get sold, and you can kind of follow a lot of them kind of through social media. You see people posting pictures of their baby retics and they're really excited. And then all of a sudden, at some point, they fall off and nobody's posting pictures of any snakes that are over 12, 14 feet, And it's like, what's happening to these animals?
They're getting released in the wild, or
Yeah.
or they're dying.
Yeah. So, and it's just really amazing how many people get them that aren't really prepared for them. So it's kind of a labor of love. It is what I can do to kind of protect the hobby by helping people get more comfortable with their animals. So
Man. But that's awesome though, because at the same time, like you get them coming into the hobby and they're scared to ask questions because you got other, like, I guess keepers, breeders snapping on them.
right.
Like I already answered this question for you,
Yeah.
like that, and then they get scared and they leave the hobby, and then the snake is either dead or They
Right.
stop caring for it, or they release it into the wild. It's on the news. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. You,
here in San Antonio, there was somebody released a berm. It was huge.
man, it's bad.
It wasn't a baby either. It was huge. It was a big berm. Uh,
Yeah. That's
so then that's like what I don't understand. Like, why couldn't they reach out to somebody in the reptile community? Like, because there's a lot of us on Instagram.
right.
I
There's
swear, like
there's a lot
it's
of all over
flooded.
the
Yeah,
place, man. I mean, I don't have that big of a following, but if somebody came up and said, "Hey, I've got a 20-foot retic that I need to rehome right now," I could go out there and post that on my Facebook page, and within a couple days, I'd be able to find a home for it. Yeah. So there's no excuse for releasing stuff. It's just I don't
yeah.
know.
But people are just afraid to ask because of the
Yeah.
way sometimes people talk to them, or
Right.
they come at them, or
Right.
they're not very welcoming. And that's what I'm trying to do too. Is like welcome people, even though they're new. Like their page is just getting started. They only have 200 followers. Like, hey, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna welcome you into the
Yeah.
hobby. We're gonna do a podcast. So I'll be like, oh, that's my first podcast. I'm nervous, but
Right.
you know, I don't know what you're gonna ask me, and I said I'm just gonna get to know you. That's what the first podcast is always is. It's
Right.
the initial like get to know you, see where you're at,
Mhm.
what you're working with, what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my. I've got one really unique snake here.
Let me see.
Probably hadn't seen the Jagpondro.
It's the what?
The Jagpondro.
Jack Condro?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know, but your setup in the back, it's awesome.
Yeah. I've got Jagpondro up here. I've got the Sri Lankan and a berm, and a green tree python, and my little baby retic over there. And then I got the rest of the stuff downstairs in my reptile room.
And I just want to say for those watching, please like, subscribe, follow. If you like this podcast, and if you can go over and follow Tim podcast, subscribe to his, subscribe, like.
Okay. So this snake has a little bit of history behind her. Let's see if I can get this.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well,
And that's a what?
she is a jaguar carpet python, green tree python hybrid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And for those, I know a lot of the folks here are going to be familiar with what they say about the like the spider ball pythons and the issues that they have. Some of them
The
have.
neurological.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
it's not even neuro with them. It's a deformation in their inner ear that throws off their equilibrium. Um, Jag in carpets and retics is a neuro condition. And this is an older girl right here. She actually came to me via somebody in Texas. She belonged to I guess it was a pretty wealthy keeper who kept some really unique animals. And she got to a stage in her life where she couldn't keep them anymore. So she entrusted this friend of mine to find good homes for them, take care of them. So this one made it from Texas out to me. And the neuro and the jag, this poor girl, you can see she's got a little bit of flop to her
Mm-hmm.
where, she'll overcorrect when she's moving around. And another really unique thing with her is she has got really terrible muscle tone in the lower half of her body.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, green trees and carpets, if you've worked with any of them before, they're arboreal. They cling on to everything. They hang on for dear life. And this girl, like her whole back end, just you can kind of see how it falls off my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she can still get around, but it's like she's got like zero muscle
No.
back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see that there. So
That's That's a gorgeous snake, though.
Yeah, yeah,
I like the colors. It's white and black, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can get her up into the camera a little bit.
See, hold on.
Yeah,
Let me so be you again.
she is.
Oh man, damn, that's a phenomenal face.
Yeah, she's sweetest snake ever, man. She's never taken a shot at me, not once. But yeah, she's probably the most unique girl that I got, and she's kind of a special case. Like I said, she came to me because I've got a couple friends out here who know I do the educational stuff, and
Hey Tim,
yeah,
doing everything that you're doing in this industry slash hobby, like what would you want to be remembered for? Because I mean, you've done a lot, and I definitely want to bring you back for a podcast.
right, yeah. Um, Man, I don't know. It's not really about me. It's really not. Um, one thing that I think is really cool is that my grandkids, when I'm dead and gone, they're going to be able to open up the YouTube channel. You know,
And
yes.
always see you.
See how stupid your great granddad was? That time he got bit in the back of the neck by a lizard, and he still liked it.
I see, and I think the same way. Like, I know I'm not gonna be around forever. My kids are in Hawaii.
Oh,
Uh, I feel like every time, because my little boys they text me, they're
uh,
like, "Dad, I saw you on YouTube." They're always like watching my videos. So
nice.
I still do this for them because I know they're watching from far away. So
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think even outside of, I catch a little bit of hate for this too, but if I had one thing that I really wanted to express to people in it, and it burns into the reptile keeping hobby and everything, and they kind of go hand in hand, is just having a respect for the truth and demanding that if you're going to hold an opinion or a belief about something, anything, that it be true, you know, and put the effort into determining, what the facts are before you develop opinions, especially before you develop personal identities around some of this stuff. And I think it applies across the board.
agree.
And
I agree.
how it ties into reptiles is, you get some people on a city council or something that are saying, okay, well, we're going to have to ban retics out here in Indiana because big snakes are invasive and
Hey,
they're
Nikki and Kurt.
going to kill people now. So, that's not true, you know.
Yeah,
And us as snake keepers recognize that. We're like, well, what you're saying is not true, and you're trying to impact our lives based on something that's false. But
yeah. They're just trying to control it.
yeah, but I mean, and stuff like that happens throughout society with everything, you know.
Well,
And
when it involves money, and they see that we're the amount of money that comes into the hobby industry,
yeah,
they're trying to get their hands in it.
anything, money and power,
That's all it is. That's
and
all it is, and that's all it ever will be.
yeah, and the only thing you need to do to be able to have either one of those things is lie to people really well. So that's why I'm still broke, because I'm too honest.
Right? Me too. I'm broke as shit, and I'm too honest. I'm too honest. I'm truthful. Like
Yeah,
you name it, man.
yeah, I don't make decisions based on money, which has kind of bitten me in the ass over the years. But
Yeah, I could see that. I could agree to that too, because like I want to make a decision, but now it's like the the money issues for me.
right,
Right now because, like I said, I just got let go from my job. My boss doesn't want to pay me for 2 weeks. I worked there, so I was getting paid every week. So he won't pay me for 2 weeks. I'm probably owed like 1,600.
man. See, that kind of stuff. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's just a dishonest thing to do. Rotten all the way around.
But you know what? I told him I still love you, man, and God has a plan for you, and hope it all works out.
Yeah,
I can't stay mad because what is that gonna do? I'm just gonna be mad for.
yeah, I couldn't do that. Somebody screws me like that, they cease to be human in my eyes. That's just once you dishonor yourself and show that you don't have.
But
I'm
I
just
mean,
like,
yeah, I'm not gonna talk to him or message him, but
right,
yeah, that's gorgeous.
yeah. I did a whole series with him, man. When I first got this snake, um, he was just absolutely terrified of people. He went completely berserk. Um, and I filmed every handling session with him. It's a Sri Lankan python, by the way, a male. And
That's gorgeous, though.
yeah, he was such,
His head is gorgeous.
yeah, and he's got a lot bigger head than a berm with bigger muscles. He almost got like a damn carpet python head.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is that? Is that what is that? What'd you say it was?
It's a Sri Lankan python, and they've recently been getting their own classification, their own species. They were previously classified as a locality Indian rock python.
Mm,
Yeah. So kind of like a locality retic, a little bit smaller. Um, and then they ended up giving these guys their own species. So now they're just straight Sri Lankan pythons. And this is the only
I,
one that's ever bitten me in the face on a live stream before.
I gotta go back and watch this. But man,
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's another thing too. That the whole series that I did with him, it took 10 handling sessions to get him pretty much tamed down. He went from biting me 10, 20 times in a video to being able to pull him out without striking, without musking, and just kind of showed how you handle them when they're that terrified and get them calmed down.
so you want to hear something funny? So when I got my retics, I would stick my hand in the tub and put it over their head, and they wouldn't bite me. And somebody told me, like, I forgot who it was I talking to at the time, and they were like, "No, you're gonna have to start using a hook." But I just used to put my hand in there and go over the head, and they would come out on their own like that onto my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped doing that because they're like, oh, eventually they're gonna tear up your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
One of these days you're gonna catch them, just like mine, man. All my retics are so gravy to handle, but there's still retics, and there's still times where, as soon as I open up that door, their mind just hasn't registered what's going on yet, and they're right there.
man, so right now, like they're eating medium rats right now.
Yeah.
I've had them for a while. They were on weaned rats,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're up to medium rats,
Yeah,
and they're growing quick.
they do. Um, you'll have to here at some point. I'll show you the before and after pictures of Monty, my big female. When I first got her, she'd sit like a little tree python on my arm, and now she's freaking 80 pounds or more.
Oh damn,
Yeah,
mine's not that big yet.
yeah, she's a sweet girl. Yeah, it gets really cool once they graduate. Once they start eating rabbits and pigs, and then neighbor kids.
And I'm like, man, I can't wait till that happens. I'm like pigs, rabbit. I see them. So I have a buddy that I go over to his house, and he was throwing out rabbits and throwing them in there. I was like, oh man, they go crazy for that stuff.
Yeah, good piece of advice is if you can find a show rabbit breeder near you, that is a great place for feeders.
Show rabbits.
Yep. Yeah, like 4-H, they breed show rabbits and stuff. They do it like dog shows. Yeah, they go out and look at them, but they do a lot of culling. So I'm friends with a local rabbit breeder out here, and I'll go over there and pick up rabbits from like large mouse size all the way to 9 pounds.
Holy snap! I'm gonna have to look into this. I don't even know if we have a rabbit breeder out here.
Yeah,
I mean, we probably do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
Right. San Antonio, there's got to be. San
I know,
Antonio
right?
city, man. You're in one of the best cities in the country.
I
Love
appreciate that.
Riverwalk, man.
I tell everybody that, but no, everybody's like, nope, I'm not going there. Like, why
Love,
not?
man. San Antonio's great. I was stationed at Fort Hood. I lived in Denton, just north of Dallas, as a civilian. And
My
then,
brother loved it there. That's where he went to school. He moved out there to Denton, Texas, and he would drive 5 hours.
really,
Yeah, there and back,
man,
just to spend like the weekend here with us or come see us. So
right. Well, I was really disappointed because when my first trip through selection um, for Army Special Forces, I had to quit because I hurt my knee first time through. But at that point, the guys were all training down at Fort Sam Houston down there because Fort Sam Houston's where all the Army medics train, and they kind of Swahili'd me into the medic course. But by the time I'd actually gotten through selection the second time and hit Bragg to start the training pipeline, they'd moved
mhm.
everything from San Antonio to Fort Bragg. So everything was all right there at Bragg and McCall, and I was heartbroken because I was really looking forward to being out there at Sam Houston. That would have been a fun trip.
I think I remember that. Okay, yeah, I remember them moving that over there.
Yeah.
I read about something. It wasn't in the news they were moving that or something.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think they moved it up there because it was probably getting too many of the medic basic trainees pregnant. So,
Huh? I mean, well, San Antonio's known for that.
yeah.
But
There's a lot of inside jokes about that.
yeah, it's in the water.
Right. I think so.
Every time you drink a glass of water, girls get pregnant.
Uh-huh. Yeah, especially you get around the special operations community and there's no shortage of availability.
Man,
Yeah.
but
What you doing? Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any. I can get you up there. Look at the camera for a second.
yeah,
He's such a good boy. Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch. If you go into my playlists, it's you'll see it. It's the videos that have got the little blood drop icon in the title.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go back and watch some of your stuff after this. Because, like I said, I didn't know you had a podcast, and it was a pleasure meeting you too. I appreciate you coming on for the time you did. I enjoy our conversation, so it
Yeah,
was awesome.
we'll definitely have to plan something sometime and stop in Saturdays, man. If you ever got anything to put out, it's normally just me sitting there bumping my gums. So if I don't have anything planned, I'll send folks a link and jump in, put stuff out. So,
I was like, yeah, man, you can always send me a link. I'll jump on with you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Call it a day. Because I want to go catch. Yeah, we did an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I want to go catch. What is it? Beyond the Skills with Creative Reptiles and them.
Cool.
But I appreciate you, Tim, coming on. I want to schedule a podcast with you. That'd be cool.
Yeah. We'll just keep in touch, man. We'll play it by ear.
Okay.
Like I said, it doesn't require any thought. We'll just pick a time, do it. We don't even need to pick a topic. I'm sure we can make it up as we go.
Well, true.
Yeah, cool. So, all right, man. Well,
but
sounds good.
Before you go, Tim, positive message before we get on out of here.
Positive message
For everybody watching.
Be nice to new keepers. Be nice, even if they're screwing up terribly, even if they've got the worst enclosure in the world, because there's one thing that we always say in a fight is you got to leave somebody a back door. You got to leave them a way out. You leave them a way out, sometimes you can avoid it. It's the same thing with a guy that doesn't know enough to take care of the animals right. You've got to leave them that safe space where they can get out away from being attacked and actually learn what they're doing. Because if everybody slams him, then he's not going to get the information he needs, and his animals are going to suffer. We've got to be able to be nice and help people out. So,
I appreciate you, Tim, for helping on. I appreciate that. That was a good answer. But on that note, guys, you already know. Y'all have a good night. Stay positive. Lift each other up. Check on your loved ones. And have a good night. I appreciate you, Tim, again. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.